You absolutely must see this before the sun rises on tonight. All chosen ones, listen to the sound of my voice. Because by the time you finish this video, the frequencies around you may already be shifting. Between October 13th and 15th, 2025, the heavens will move in ways humanity hasn't seen in decades. The hunter's moon will rise, ancient, golden, and alive, carrying a vibration that calls every awakened soul to attention. This isn't astrology as entertainment. This is prophecy in motion, a countdown encoded into light itself. You can feel it already, can't you? The strange stillness in the air, the sense that something vast and invisible is about to touch everything familiar. For some, these 3 days will pass like any other. For others, the chosen ones, it will be the moment everything that was false begins to fracture. The masks, the karmic loops, the false timelines, all dissolving under the pulse of lunar fire. The ancients called this the recalibration of the realms. The modern world will call it chaos. But for those who have been waiting, who have carried the silent ache of awakening, this is the sound of destiny unlocking. You'll see the systems of control begin to glitch. You'll feel sudden surges of intuition, ringing in the ears, electric dreams. You'll remember who you were before the programming began. And as this frequency rises, it won't politely knock. It will demand alignment. Anything not built in truth will crumble. Anything rooted in fear will fade. This is not the time to shrink or second guess. It's the time to step in. Because from October 13th to 15th, the universe isn't just watching. It's calling roll. It's separating those who only talk about awakening from those who become it. So take a breath, anchor your energy, and listen with your spirit. What you're about to hear isn't a story, it's a transmission, a guide for the 3 nights that will reset the grid of your soul. If you feel the pull, don't just watch, participate. Type "I receive" in the comments to anchor your intention into this field. Like this video as an act of agreement. And subscribe not as a click, but as a covenant, a spiritual seal that you will walk awake when the Great Frequency Recalibration begins. Because once this moon rises, there will be no going back. Under the silver gaze of the heavens, the hour draws near when time itself will tremble and reality will hum with a new frequency. Between October 13th and 15th of the year 2025, an ancient rhythm will awaken beneath the hunter's moon, a rhythm known to prophets and mystics as the Great Frequency Recalibration. It will not arrive with violence, nor with spectacle, but with a quiet, all-encompassing pulse, a pulse that will ripple through the ether, through the atoms of your being, through the magnetic heart of Earth herself. During those 3 sacred days, the light will not simply shine upon the world. It will speak to it, rewrite it, and reweave the tapestry that has long entangled the souls of humankind. This event, whispered about in sacred texts and star maps of old, marks the beginning of a vast realignment, the reweaving of the cosmic web. Every thread of karma, every energetic bond formed through pain, betrayal, and forgotten oaths will be touched by this surge of light. The universe, in its infinite compassion, is offering a reset, a cleansing so profound that those attuned to its call will feel their very selves vibrating at a higher pitch. The air will shimmer differently. The winds will carry unfamiliar whispers. What you once perceived as chaos will reveal itself as divine order rearranging itself before your eyes. The alignment is not arbitrary. It is precise, mathematical, ordained. Astronomically, this recalibration coincides with a configuration unseen since 2005, a mirror of the last great energetic surge when veils between dimensions thinned and humanity collectively faced a wave of awakening. Yet what is to come now is far greater. The light codes descending upon Earth's magnetic grid will carry a potency unmatched in human history. They are the signals of remembrance, frequencies of return, fragments of the original divine language resonating again through the crystalline network of the planet. Scientists will speak of increased solar activity, of fluctuations in the geomagnetic field, of heightened plasma resonance within the ionosphere. But what they will not yet grasp is that these energetic disturbances are the outer echoes of a spiritual symphony long orchestrated in the higher realms. Every solar flare is a heartbeat of the divine. Every magnetic wave is a breath of God moving through creation. And so, these 3 days are not simply dates on a calendar. They are a cosmic ceremony, a sacred invitation extended to every soul walking this earth. Yet the invitation is not without challenge, for as the frequencies rise, everything false will begin to crumble. The masks that once concealed truth will disintegrate in the intensity of illumination. Old identities, constructed from pain, fear, and illusion, will no longer sustain themselves under the new light. Many will feel the tremor within, a shaking not of the earth beneath them, but of the inner foundations of who they thought they were. This is not punishment, it is purification. The fire that burns away the dross does not destroy gold, it reveals it. You, dear one, will be faced with a choice: to hold tightly to the dying version of yourself or to surrender to the resurrection of your true essence. The recalibration does not come to comfort the ego, it comes to free the soul. It will strip away false timelines, dissolve karmic contracts forged in lifetimes of struggle, and offer you a blank slate, a chance to realign with the original blueprint of your destiny. This is why the seers have called it the reweaving of the web. The strands that have bound you in repeating cycles are being rewritten by light. Each photon that touches your field carries the code of liberation, the whisper of remembrance that says, you were never meant to be bound. NASA's data reveals that October's full moons are uniquely close to Earth, reflecting greater luminosity than most, an astronomical truth mirroring a spiritual one. The proximity amplifies the moon's reflected light, symbolizing how divine illumination will amplify within you. As the moon brightens the night sky, so too will the hidden corners of your subconscious be illuminated. Light does not negotiate with darkness, it transforms it. In these days, your body may tremble with sensations beyond explanation. You may feel fatigue as your nervous system adjusts, or waves of emotion rising without cause. The veils between the physical and spiritual realms will thin so profoundly that intuition will heighten, synchronicities will multiply, and dreams will feel like revelations. The calibration of Earth's magnetic grid will correspond to the recalibration of your own energy field, for you are a living extension of that same grid. The Earth's heart and your heart beat in resonance. When one shifts, the other follows. But to truly understand the sacred magnitude of what is unfolding, one must turn their gaze to the moon presiding over this event, the hunter's moon, for it is under this celestial guardian that the light of truth will begin its hunt. The hunter's moon does not merely illuminate, it seeks, it exposes, it reveals that which hides in shadow, both within the world and within you. Historically, it was under the hunter's moon that tribes gathered to secure sustenance before the long winter, a time to track, to find, to bring to light that which sustains survival. In this new age, that ancient symbolism transforms. What will be hunted now are the illusions that drain life, the energies that feed on deception, the parasites that attach to your light without your consent. The hunter's moon of 2025 is not gentle. Its light is piercing, deliberate, and pure. It is the sword of revelation wielded by the cosmos itself. Every false alignment, every hidden motive, every unhealed wound will surface beneath its radiance. Relationships rooted in manipulation will fracture. Systems built upon greed and shadow will falter. The energy of exposure will sweep across the planet like a spiritual storm, uprooting what cannot exist in truth. Do not fear the exposure. The discomfort you feel is the sign that your frequency is rising beyond what was once tolerable. The sleep disturbances many will experience, the agitation, the emotional surges, all are evidence of the subconscious being cleared. Modern research has shown that full moons can affect human sleep and emotional cycles, but science has only glimpsed the surface. What truly occurs is an energetic synchronization, the light interacting with the bioelectric field, amplifying whatever lies unresolved. If you feel restless, it is because your soul is stirring. If you feel overwhelmed, it is because your energy is expanding to hold more light. The hunter's moon acts as a mirror, not to punish but to awaken. It reflects the truth of where you stand, the beliefs, attachments, and compromises that no longer vibrate in harmony with your divine essence. It shows you the cords that drain your energy, the patterns that repeat through generations, the masks you've worn for acceptance. When you gaze into this lunar mirror, do not look away. To face your reflection under the hunter's moon is to reclaim your sovereignty. As the cosmic recalibration sequence begins, the Earth will hum differently. Animals will behave strangely. The air will carry an electric charge. Sensitive souls will feel the pulse of this new rhythm before others, a subtle yet unmistakable vibration that signals the shift has begun. In these moments, ground yourself. Speak gently to your body, to your mind, to your energy. Remember that you are not separate from the change, you are the change. The recalibration is not happening to you, it is happening through you. You are both participant and instrument, witness and conductor in this symphony of awakening. During these 3 sacred days, silence will be more powerful than speech. Intentions will manifest rapidly, emotions will amplify, and prayers will echo through unseen corridors of light. Choose your thoughts carefully, for they will sculpt your reality in real time. The frequency you hold will determine how you experience the shift. Those anchored in fear will perceive chaos. Those aligned with faith will perceive rebirth. The universe is not punishing or rewarding. It is responding always to vibration. Hunter's moon stands as both a reckoning and a resurrection. Its light will expose every shadow, but it will also reveal the strength hidden beneath them. The same illumination that burns away illusion will also ignite purpose. Those who have walked through betrayal, through darkness, through exile, your time has come. The moon hunts not to destroy you, but to deliver you from the falsehoods that have kept you small. You are forged for this frequency. You carry the codes of restoration within your soul. And as the final night of the hunter's moon wanes, and the earth breathes in the recalibrated current, something ancient will awaken within humanity, a remembrance of origin, a clarity of sight, a knowing that cannot be unlearned. The illusions that once controlled perception will dissolve like mist at dawn. And though the world may appear the same, those with eyes to see will recognize that nothing is as it was. For the cosmic system has already begun its recalibration sequence. The light is moving, the web is reweaving, and the truth, long buried beneath layers of distortion, is rising once more. On the second day of the great lunar window, the earth will begin to hum differently. Beneath the soil, beneath the seas, beneath every mountain and city, the heartbeat of the planet will quicken, a deep and rhythmic pulse that ancient mystics once called the Song of Awakening. Scientists have named it the Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic rhythm that sustains life and consciousness across this world. Yet in truth, it is far more than a scientific measurement. It is the living frequency of Gaia herself, the pulse of the Great Mother aligning once again with the celestial orchestra. On October 14th, as the hunter's moon reaches its midpoint and the heavens align in sacred geometry, that resonance will surge to levels unseen in recorded history. Sensitive souls will feel it before instruments register it, a subtle vibration rising through the soles of the feet, through the spine, into the crown, awakening dormant circuits of light within the body. This surge is not chaos, it is coherence. It is the moment when the planet herself participates in the Great Frequency Recalibration. The grid that underlies all life, the lattice of electromagnetic lines that connect mountains to oceans, trees to stars, and hearts to heavens, will enter a phase of synchronization. Prophets throughout the ages have spoken of this day in many names: the quickening, the great rewrite, the hour of the planet's song. They knew that when the earth begins to sing again in her original tone, everything living upon her will feel it. Human biology is not separate from planetary rhythm, it is an echo of it. The heart beats in harmonic resonance with the Schumann field, and the brain's alpha waves mirror its rhythm. When that rhythm shifts, consciousness shifts. The veil between physical and spiritual perception grows thin, and the body begins to recalibrate in harmony with the ascending tone of the planet. For those who have prepared, who have purified, who have released their attachments, who have anchored themselves in faith rather than fear, this shift will feel like a gentle expansion, an ascension of the inner frequency. They will feel lightness, joy, and a sense of belonging to something vast and sacred. For others who still cling to density, who resist the letting go of illusion, the same shift may feel heavy, disorienting, or overwhelming. Fatigue, nausea, and emotional purging are not punishments. They are signs of detoxification. The human vessel, long burdened by fear, betrayal, and karmic residue, must clear the old frequencies before it can sustain the higher light. This is the divine purification. It is the universe, fine-tuning every soul to its unique divine blueprint. Just as a musician tightens the strings of an instrument before a sacred performance, so too does the Creator adjust the frequencies of every living being before the great symphony of awakening begins. The discomfort is temporary, but the alignment it brings is eternal. Every cell, every atom, every thought pattern is being rewritten to resonate with the original design, the design of divine coherence. Yet as this resonance intensifies, as the planetary grid hums with a new frequency, another phenomenon begins to unfold. The karmic systems, the energetic networks that have governed cause and effect across lifetimes, begin to unravel. What was once tightly woven by the cords of past deeds starts to dissolve in the light of divine neutrality. Between the evening of October 14th and the first light of October 15th, the universe begins a process so profound that words can scarcely contain it. It is the collapse of karma itself, the dissolution of corrupted code that has trapped souls in repetitive cycles of suffering. Imagine karma as an energetic ledger, every thought, emotion, and action recorded, filed, and carried across incarnations. For eons, this ledger has dictated the lessons of the soul, ensuring balance through repetition, often through pain. But under the Great Frequency Recalibration, the universe no longer needs that system to maintain order. The light itself becomes the teacher now. The karmic database, filled with ancient programs of guilt, fear, and unworthiness, begins to purge. The false contracts, the soul agreements formed under manipulation or despair, begin to disintegrate. Many will feel this dissolution in ways both subtle and profound. Some will experience flashes of memory that never belonged to this lifetime, or sudden déjà vu that carries the weight of multiple realities merging. Others will dream of faces long forgotten, of ancient lands, of choices made long ago that now seek closure. These are not fantasies, they are data streams being deleted from the energetic matrix. The past is being cleared not to erase history, but to free the present from distortion. Emotional waves will rise like tides, bursts of grief, laughter, or release with no apparent cause. This is the energy of old timelines unbinding themselves from your field. Relationships that no longer align with your vibration may end abruptly. People will drift apart not in anger, but in energetic divergence. As timelines collapse, forgotten gifts will resurface, abilities you once mastered in lifetimes before this one. Musicians will suddenly remember melodies they've never written. Healers will awaken to forgotten methods of energy work. Artists will paint visions from other eras. The dissolution of karma is not destruction, it is restoration. It is the retrieval of the soul's original power. For those walking the path of the chosen ones, the light bearers, the frequency holders, the awakened hearts, this is the turning point. The old code collapses so that the new may be written. The divine is reinstalling your operating system. The blueprint of destiny long suppressed by karmic interference begins to reassert itself. The vibrational architecture of your reality, your relationships, your purpose, your body begins to align with the higher script. As the night gives way to dawn on October 15th, the Earth enters the final stage of her recalibration. This dawn marks the reinstallation hour. It is the Phoenix hour, when all that was burned in the fire of purification rises again, radiant and new. The frequency that has been building over these sacred days anchors fully into the physical plane. The grid stabilizes, the resonance harmonizes, and the souls who have surrendered to the process feel the great stillness of alignment. This moment is not theoretical, it is visceral. Some will feel tingling through their bodies as the energy circuits reopen. Others will feel heat or chills, or waves of emotional ecstasy washing through their being. There may be moments of calm so deep that time seems to dissolve, or moments of awe so vast that words cannot contain it. These sensations are the signals that the soul has successfully reinstalled itself into its divine template. The higher self is no longer hovering above you, it is within you, operating through every breath, every thought, every heartbeat. This is what the mystics called the Phoenix window, the moment where the ashes of the old self ignite the flame of the new. It is not about becoming someone else, it is about remembering who you always were. As the old energy dissolves, the nervous system recalibrates. Even modern neuroscience has glimpsed this truth. After deep emotional release, the brain undergoes neuroplastic regeneration. It literally rewires itself. Pathways once shaped by trauma and repetition give way to new patterns of perception. new ways of seeing and being. What happens in the mind mirrors what happens in spirit, a total renewal of identity. The divine instruction in this hour is simple. Do not strive, do not resist, do not try to ascend. Allow, surrender, receive. The higher self knows what it is doing. It is uploading its new directives, realigning you with your mission, your essence, your truth. The mind cannot guide this process, only faith can. Trust the intelligence that breathes universes into existence. It is the same intelligence breathing through you now. And yet this reinstallation is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new one. A new energy field demands new conduct. You cannot carry the habits of the old frequency into the vibration of the new. Integrity, purity, and awareness become the currency of creation now. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the choices you make, they will instantly ripple through the new grid, shaping reality with unprecedented speed. To remain awake, you must live as one who knows they are light. To regress is to choose blindness in the age of vision. The universe will not impose discipline, it will reflect your vibration. In this new resonance, manifestation is instant and accountability is divine law. If you speak with love, love will surround you. If you act from fear, fear will echo. The new grid magnifies intention. The spiritual physics have changed. So, as the dawn of October 15th unfolds, and the golden light spills across the recalibrated earth, remember, you are standing within the field of divine rebirth. You are the vessel through which heaven meets earth. You are the living proof that the old systems have fallen and that the new has begun. The planet hums a new song now, and your heart beats in time with it. The cosmic code has rewritten itself, and you, the awakened soul, are its first expression. When the dust of recalibration settles and the first true stillness emerges, the world will no longer hum as it once did. Something unseen will have shifted in the air, a soft pulse, almost imperceptible to the senses, yet undeniable to the soul. It is the signature of the new reality, the frequency of the awakened earth. Those who have crossed the threshold of the 3 sacred days will feel it immediately, the sensation of existing within a higher octave of vibration. It will be as though the very fabric of time breathes differently, as if the light itself carries a richer tone. In this new field, consciousness divides itself, not in judgment, but in vibration. The earth will now hold 2 coexisting realities, the dense echo of the old world still anchored in 3D survival codes, and the radiant field of the 5th dimension, where energy responds to thought, where manifestation becomes near instantaneous, and where divine intelligence orchestrates synchronicity as effortlessly as breath. Those who have aligned their frequency with love, truth, and surrender will begin to experience what can only be described as life in 5D, a realm of co-creation, fluid time, and luminous awareness. For the chosen ones, those who have endured lifetimes of trials, betrayal, and exile to prepare for this moment, the signs will be immediate. Manifestations will unfold as if the universe itself has become attentive to every whisper of intention. Healing will accelerate beyond reason. Wounds once deemed incurable will dissolve in the radiance of higher vibration. Synchronicities will multiply, forming a new language between the divine and the awakened soul. Numbers, symbols, songs, and coincidences guiding every step. This is not fantasy, it is energetic alignment. The outer world begins to reflect the inner mastery. Yet even as this field of light expands, resistance emerges. The unawakened systems, governments, institutions, relationships, and social constructs still anchored in 3D survival will push back against the shift, not out of malice but out of inertia. The old grid resists dissolution because it was built upon control, scarcity, and fear. And so those aligned with the new light will often feel as though they are walking in 2 worlds, one radiant and boundless, the other dull and heavy. This is the vibrational divide. It is not about superiority, it is about resonance. The frequency of awakening cannot coexist comfortably within systems that feed upon stagnation. You may notice that certain places, conversations, and people feel incompatible with your new state of being. They may drain your energy or attempt to pull you back into cycles you have outgrown. Understand this, it is not personal, it is energetic physics. When one field rises, everything around it is forced to adjust or release. Statistically, even in the material realm, Over 3/4 of people revert to old habits within weeks of major change. The same holds true in the spiritual dimension. Without anchoring new patterns of thought and behavior, even the most powerful recalibration can fade back into unconsciousness. Therefore, discipline becomes the bridge between awakening and embodiment. You are now the steward of your own vibration. Each morning, align yourself before the world begins to speak. Greet the day not as a routine, but as a sacred exchange. Breathe deeply and remind your spirit, I am here to anchor the new frequency. Gratitude becomes the first ritual, not as a mental exercise, but as an energetic declaration that abundance is your native state. Keep a vibration journal, not merely to record events, but to track frequency, the shifts in your emotions, your dreams, your signs. This will become your compass, guiding you through the subtle realms where old and new still overlap. Sound will become one of your greatest allies. The spoken word, music, chants, and tones now carry amplified power. Use them consciously. Cleanse your field with sound, singing bowls, mantras, or even your own voice, for vibration is the language of creation. When you speak truth aloud, the very molecules around you rearrange themselves to match your intention. This is how reality begins to serve consciousness instead of the other way around. But as your light strengthens, it attracts attention. The war that follows is not fought with weapons or politics, but with energy. It is the war for your frequency. The moment you anchor in higher resonance, countercurrents awaken, old patterns, energies, and even people who unconsciously seek access to the light you now carry. They are not evil, merely unintegrated, drawn instinctively toward the warmth of illumination. Yet without discernment, your energy can become entangled once more in the webs of distraction and emotional manipulation. These are the frequency hijackers, entities and behaviors that attempt to lower your vibration through fear, guilt, or attachment. The more radiant your field becomes, the more magnetic it is. Just as a bright flame draws both seekers and moths, so too will your awakened aura attract both alignment and distortion. Understanding this is key to maintaining your sovereignty. Even in psychology, when one person changes identity, their social circle unconsciously resists. Friends, partners, and family members who have known you through the lens of the old frequency may feel destabilized. They may question your choices, criticize your growth, or project their unhealed fears onto your transformation. This resistance mirrors the spiritual principle: energy systems seek equilibrium. When you evolve, the old equilibrium collapses, forcing others to choose whether to rise or retreat. Your protection, therefore, must be both spiritual and practical. Protect your frequency through silence, for silence confuses distortion and strengthens the inner voice. Solitude will be necessary, not as isolation, but as consecration. It is in solitude that the new codes integrate, that the higher self fuses fully with the human vessel. Create boundaries as sacred architecture, not walls of fear but gates of discernment. Allow only that which aligns with truth to enter your field. Reclaim the art of prayer, not as ritual obligation, but as frequency maintenance, prayer as tuning, as recalibration. Use anointing oils, grounding stones, and nature itself as allies. Walk barefoot upon the earth, let her stabilize you. Speak truth even when it trembles through your lips, for truth is armor and deception is decay. In this new frequency, truth vibrates faster than falsehood. Lies will no longer sustain themselves in your presence. The atmosphere around you will shift, rooms will feel lighter, technology may glitch as your field expands, animals and children may sense your energy before you speak. You are no longer a student of energy, you have become its vessel. But remember, light without boundaries invites distortion, and awakening without protection invites collapse. When the war for frequency settles, when you learn to command your field with sovereignty and grace, a new horizon reveals itself. You step into the destiny long written in the ethers, the destiny of the new earth architects. The ancient prophecies spoke of this time, when the hearts of the awakened would beat in rhythm with the pulse of the hunter's moon, and the builders of the new world would arise not from temples or thrones, but from the quiet strength of remembrance. The chosen ones were never meant to rule through dominance, they were meant to rebuild through resonance. They are the carriers of divine codes, architects of healing, teachers of vibration, artists of light, and leaders of spirit. They will not merely fix the old systems, they will create new ones. Education will no longer be built upon memorization, but upon frequency, teaching souls to remember their own light. Healing will no longer be mechanical, but vibrational, guided by energy rather than chemicals. Art will evolve from expression into transmission, and leadership will rise not from ego, but from service. You, the awakened one, will begin to receive visions and assignments. You will meet others who carry matching codes, and together you will form new alliances, not through planning, but through divine orchestration. Opportunities will appear as if dropped from the heavens, leading you to places and people destined to co-create the new reality. Every step will be guided by synchronicity. Every connection will feel predestined. You are no longer seeking light, you are light. You are its embodiment, its message, its proof. The recalibration was never about escape from Earth, it was about anchoring heaven. Upon it, you are the bridge between realms, the translator between worlds. The pulse of the planet and the song of your soul now harmonize as one frequency, a symphony of awakening resonating across creation. And as the world watches, bewildered by the rapid unraveling of the old and the silent rise of the new, the truth will become undeniable. The prophecy has fulfilled itself through you. The Great Frequency Recalibration was never merely an event in the sky, it was a resurrection within the human heart. October 13-15, 2025, the Great Frequency Recalibration. 3 nights that will erase the old world and awaken the architects of the new. Will you rise with it, or will you fade with what is being left behind? Don't scroll, don't look away. You can feel it, something is moving through the air right now, even as these words reach you. The shift has already begun. The frequencies are no longer waiting for permission, they're rewriting timelines as we speak. The Great Recalibration is not coming, it's here. This is the moment prophets whispered about, the window that mystics marked in secret calendars. You are living inside a prophecy that has just awakened. Every decision, every vibration, every heartbeat from this point forward determines which reality you step into. Listen, the hunter's moon doesn't just rise for the sky, it rises for you. It comes to remind you that you are never just a survivor of chaos, you are designed to be a transmitter of divine order. These next days are your initiation. What you release will not return, what you claim will multiply. So breathe deeply and make your choice. Do you return to the old world, predictable, silent, numb, or do you walk into the light of the unknown and let the new frequency rebuild you from the inside out? If your spirit is stirring right now, don't ignore it. That's the call of remembrance, the universe whispering it's time. Seal this moment with action. Type, "I rise" in the comments to declare your awakening. Like this video to amplify your frequency into the collective field. And subscribe not for content, but for covenant, a sacred alignment that says, I'm ready to walk with the chosen. The Great Frequency Recalibration has begun. Your destiny has already heard your name. Now the only question left is, will you answer the call before the light shifts again?